What is a good high school senior prank that doesn't create more work for the janitors? Buy lockpicks online from Amazon, a large dildo, wooden slabs, and gold spray paint. Break into the trophy cabinet and leave a new item to the school's historic collection of trophies. As to fix but hilarious if they don't notice for a while. In high school, the Parents Club sponsored a sober post-prom party every year. Our senior year they distributed flyers and mailed home info to the parents directing them to specific URL. The URL was incorrect, so several friends and I purchased the domain and made a site all about a drunken post-prom party. Supervised beer bong races, beer pong tournament etc. School flipped out and had to contact all the parents about the mistake. We never got caught, even after publishing threatening emails from our deans on the homepage. No damage done. No one hurt except the embarrassed administrators. I'd say it was a success. Overall, you just have to be creative and come up with something unique. Put the school up for sale on Craigslist. Put the contact information as the school's phone number. We tried organizing a rave in a bathroom, but it kind of lost its power of rebellion when the principal joined in and started dancing. We had a pretty cool principal. Edit. Canada. That's all I'm saying. My senior year I bought about 100 rubber duckies and hid them around the school. On the bottom of each ducky I attached a little note that said congratulations. Return me to administrator to claim your prize. My vice principal was so damn confused. We got all of my classmates to fork out a few bucks. Then we got to school early enough to completely block off the teacher parking lot with our cars. We brought grills, chairs, cornhole, a volleyball net, etc. and grilled out all day. All the jealous underclassmen watched sadly from the classroom windows. Eventually teachers joined us during their lunch breaks and we shared our burgers and hot dogs. It was fun. Didn't get us in trouble, and the teachers pulled around with us like adults, which was kind of cool. My favorite school prank I've heard of was where all the seniors gathered in a circle in the middle of the caf or somewhere populated and pretended like there was a huge fight going on, and when the teacher's admin come to break it up there's just two guys in the middle playing chess. Get 4 kids dressed as colored ghosts to chase one kid dressed as Pac-Man throughout the school halls. Start a whisper campaign that something big will happen. Don't give any details. Tell everyone it's secret and just smile knowingly when asked. If you can get the whole school to believe that something is going to happen, you're doing it right. Bonus points if the administrators get worried and pull you into the office to talk about it. Refuse to give details. Let them search your backpack and locker as many times as they like. The knowing smile is your friend. The rumor mill is the prank. Do nothing else. For our senior prank, we had a student who worked in the office make copies of hall passes. There was a color system. Each day had a different color. So she printed out 500 or so hall passes in green on a pink day and we stacked them in the bathrooms and the freshman hallways. Anarchy ensued with almost every freshman getting sent to the office for carrying invalid hall passes. It was amazing. Edited to add, we all came clean. And none of the freshmen actually got in trouble. Neither did we. Surprisingly. Hire a mime to follow your principal around and make fun of his actions. Did this to a friend for his going away party at a bar. He was pissed because there was no way he'd be going home with a girl that night. My high school principal collected Pez dispensers. Like had hundreds going back years. Was in the paper for it and stuff. One year the seniors kidnapped all of them. Put blindfolds on the most important ones and photographed them with notes for ransom. Silly stuff like an extra 10 minutes in our morning break for a week. He eventually got them all back. And he was awesome about the whole thing. Appreciated their creativity. He is still, an amazing guy. I graduated 17 years ago and am still in contact with him. Change all the computer lab desktop wallpapers to the logo of a rival school. No extra work for janitors. When everyone shakes the principal's hand they hand him a bouncy ball. Yeah, it's old and cliche, but honestly it is pretty funny and cool when everyone takes part. My brother's class pranked a rival high school football team. Not exactly a senior prank, but they planted a tree in the middle of their football field. Take a cow upstairs. They can only walk upstairs and can't walk down. It usually takes a crane to get them out. Class of 2006. Bought 2006 bouncy balls and we dumped them off the balcony overlooking the lunchroom onto the underclassmen below. All the underclassmen picked up the bouncy balls so there was no cleanup afterwards. I've posted this before, but when I was a freshman the seniors ran a giant 6-foot inflatable D up the flagpole right when everyone was arriving to school. No harm no foul, but it was hilarious as hell. All the senior saxophone players in our band went to their favorite teacher's classroom and played Careless Whisper simultaneously. In my high school we did a freeze. It wasn't the senior prank but it was awesome. All the students knew when to freeze in the hallways at passing time at the second bell between 4th and 5th hour. Everyone just froze where they were in the halls until the last bell. They work so hard and are so nice. We want to return the favor. However, we're pissed at admin, so duck them. We got a $6 and attached one of those abuse alarms where you pull the pin and it makes a god awful noise. Then we filled it with helium and released it in the auditorium. Very high roof. Everyone came to check out the noise and saw an almost impossible to get down $6. My brother-in-law connected a tape recorder to the intercom loop, all concealed in a suspended ceiling, and recorded class announcements. Then they sampled them and made a mixtape that started out with the regular sounding announcements but degraded into people impersonating the principal, music, jokes etc. They rigged the tape to play using a TV remote and abandoned it. The amp in the tape player was bigger than that in the office intercom system so the staff couldn't switch it off or drown it out. Since nobody knew where it was, the choice was to shut off electricity and close school or grin and bear it. It might still be there for all we know. Buy a few hundred alarm clocks and hide them in various places throughout classrooms. My favorite one from my senior year was a grill out. We got a couple grills on the roof of the school. Then around 11 AM, all the senior found their way to the roof and just chilled for an hour or two. If we had something important to do we left, but it was amazing. During a staff meeting, we lifted as many of the staff cars as we could into the school lobby. Nothing was broken, but they had a hell of a time getting out 15 cars as all the exits had stairs. At times like this I wish I grew up in the age of smartphones. Then I remember all the dumb it I've done that would have been recorded, and I'm glad I didn't grow up with smartphones. Audio pranks are the best for being annoying but non-destructive. I helped one senior class set up a huge speaker locked in the clock tower, and they remotely controlled it all day to play songs, loud noises, all kinds of stuff. Highly effective, no mess, lots of laughs and annoyance. I'm still pretty proud of this one. We collected a lot of porn magazines, cut out thousands of pictures, broke into the library one night and put the pictures randomly between pages of hundreds of books. I still like to think that even today, people are still discovering our prank. Release an apparently tame cheetah in the school. Wait for it to attack unsuspecting mothers on graduation day. In my freshman year at a down East Main high school, a few seniors thought it would be hilarious to empty 25 gallons of lobster bait, rotting fish and its juices, onto the floors of the school, causing an estimated $10,000 in damage. So yeah, don't do that. Edit. Proof. For our senior prank we snuck outside the middle of November at 2 AM and built a huge ice wall in front of the school's double doors. 5 guys with shovels just piling up snow and watering it down with liters of water out of water bottles. The next day the school was so pissed we had blocked an emergency exit and we ended up having to do 8 hours community service each because one of the guys ratted us out. All I remember is sitting in the office and teachers coming up and congratulating us for the smart prank. They even held a fundraiser to get it taken down by the administration and raised $750. And the principal and vice principal took it down with ice picks. When the principal brought us into discipline she said we could get the police involved. This is technically vandalism, and one of my buddies, God bless him, said that was before you held a fundraiser. Otherwise you've been making money on crime. Totally worth 8 hours. We just went to the mustard seed and made sandwiches for a day. I like an prank that hurts nobody, uses skill or effort as a resource and takes longer to take down than it does to set up, and nothing was damaged and nobody got hurt. The people over 18 went to a local convenience store and bought a bunch of porn magazines. They then went into the library and hid them in the magazine stacks. I'm pretty certain that the librarian found them all that morning. The prank was pretty obvious, since one of them was in the current issues rack complete with that big plastic binder. I have 2 stories. One a good example and one bad. The bad. My graduating class was made up of a bunch of douchebags. Our school had one road leading into the school for maybe 5 blocks, and the same one road leading out. Their senior prank was to dress up as snails and walk in the street as slowly as possible to hold up traffic. It wasn't funny. It wasn't cool. It was 10 or 12 D-heads making everyone late for finals and taking time away from the parents who had to drop their kids off. The good. My older brother's graduating class was much better. A fight broke out in the main courtyard. Everyone formed a tight crowd around the 2 in the middle. So tight, in fact, that the faculty had trouble pushing the crowd out of the way, and it took minutes to get to the center. While the adults were trying to break it up, the crowd just got more and more crazy, rooting on the combatants. When the staff finally got to the fight, here's what they saw. In the middle of the mass of screaming, rooting students, they found an apple and a banana. Edit: there was never a fight. Somebody threw the 2 in the middle and the students formed a ring around them. Was a senior last year. We brought our dogs to school. Our principal was a huge dog person. He would bring his dogs to school sometimes, and he had dog food and bowls in his office. So if someone's dog disrupted class, they would just bring it to the principal's office. It was probably the best day of his life. Get the whole school to take the bus on the same day. Most high school systems don't have buses for even half their student population. A couple of years ago at my school, the seniors all brought pillows, blankets, sleeping bags, etc., and started setting up beds and going to sleep during a passing period. Also, a kid snuck in a vacuum cleaner and started vacuuming the halls. At my school, everyone gave the vice principal a penny as they walked across the stage to get their diploma. They never wore belts, and that he'd pocket them because what the duck else do you do? It was just a waiting game. Pretend to be an administrator and call all the janitors and tell them they have the week off. I had some friends our senior year who tried to run a fictional freshman for class president. After they got found out, they started posting flyers announcing him as candidate for speaker of his house. Do 3 pranks and number them 1, 2, and 4. They'll spend all their time looking for the 3rd prank, but the 3rd prank was this prank. A group of guys superglued toothpicks into all the classroom locks. School was cancelled for a day or 2. They also got caught. Felony charges and tens of thousands in damages. Not sure if you'd categorize this as good. Definitely unique. For my school's senior prank, the guys and girls switched units. The girls were supposed to wear skirts and the guys had to wear ties. So girls and guys borrowed each other's skirts and ties. That was fun. I once made a program that would open the disk tray on a computer toggle every hour. They tried everything to stop it. They ended up just jamming it with a chair. Get 3 sheep. Label them 1, 2 and 4. Let them loose and watch people search all day for sheep number 3. My school had a lie down. We have one hallway on our 2nd floor that bottlenecks due to an elevator they put in. It's only one line of people both ways that can fit. And basically between periods the seniors all just laid down on the floor to block the way. Post googly eyes on the school mascot. We did a senior scooter day where all the seniors rode scooters literally everywhere. Our rulebook banned bicycles, skateboards, rollerblades, and whatnot, but it did not say scooters, so I printed off a bunch of pages, handed it to everybody and said to show it to anyone who threatened to get them in trouble. I went to a no-nonsense school, so it was lots of fun. Sodomite, my buddy took an official letter from the principal and made a formal message requiring all males to go to his office and get their D-size official recorded by the principal. He put it all over the school and parents got pretty angry. My brother's class advertised a garage sale at the school. The whole day there was an endless parade of little old ladies looking for a deal. My brother hotwired the school bell system to go off whenever he chose, in addition to the normal schedule. My buddies and I created the Fine Dining Society. We meticulously planned a 3-course fine dining meal in the cafeteria at lunch. 2 of the guys were in the culinary arts class. One is a sous chef at a Michelin restaurant. Made our meal. 2 freshmen were our waiters. We dressed up in tuxedos. We brought dates. We had a friend play violin while we ate. Pretty much the entire cafeteria watched us enjoy our meal and we made it into the yearbook. The class Q year older than mine filled the parking lot with nails, so the administration was watching us super closely to make sure we didn't do something so stupid. We all showed up at school at about 5 AM one day, blocked off the senior parking lot, and turned it into a luau. Hawaiian shirts, shorts, a couple people brought grills, other people brought your dogs and burgers and buns, chips, you name it. We covered a big portion with tarps then dumped sand on it to make a beach. There were games on the sand, though I forget what they were, and somebody even came with his truck bed lined with a tarp and filled with water. There was even a guy who's a DJ who brought his equipment with big speakers and lights and he played music. One by one, every administrator that showed up came to see what the hell was going on. So we'd cook them a hot dog and take a selfie with them. Then they'd go into school chuckling to themselves. When school started we all went to class, and throughout the day if you had a study hall or something you'd go help clean up, and by the time school was over it was cleaned up completely. Not only did we do a harmless prank, but we had a blast doing it, and sent a message to the younger classes that you can make a good prank completely harmless. And apparently teachers still talk about our senior luau. According to my little sister, edit, I forgot somebody also cut off one of the bushes at our rival's school, so instead of saying BVNW, it said BVN, our school. There was a new W by 8 AM. I don't know who did it, though. Not exactly a senior prank, but one morning, some redneck hillbilly apparently found a random chicken on the side of the road and decided to bring it to school with him. Kid released the chicken into the upstairs male bathroom. Chaos ensued. Kid got suspended. Now, there is a permanent chicken crossing sign in that hallway. My senior class did a week of anti-pranks. Each senior would bring in an item and just carry it around all day. One day it was a banana, the next a gallon of water, the next a baseball, and so on. Never did anything with them, but the faculty freaked out and started confiscating everything. They probably had 500 bananas in the office on the first day. Pretty funny. I'm from California, where golden poppies are illegal to remove. So we planted a D-shaped garden of golden poppies in the quad. We found a 1980s high school photo of our principal. He had the best mullet ever. We made about 500 copies, and when he was gone to lunch, we taped them all over the school. I mean everywhere, even on the stop sign outside. We also had 3x5 posters made. We got shirts made with the same picture that said business in the front, party in the back with his face screen on them. He was wildly embarrassed, but he was cool about it. Oh, and also, about 10 of us guys camped in his front yard with tents, and someone brought a grill and we cooked breakfast for him and his family. All in good fun. For those of you familiar with the D game, where you yell D as loud as you can without getting in trouble, you may find this interesting. During a pep rally, I got everyone in my grade to yell D in front of the whole school, in the deep American South. During pep rallies, we always had to yell the abbreviation of our school. Each grade yelled a different letter. The letter yelled before ours was P, so we beautifully added the subsequent NIS after. The class yelling P had no idea that they were part of our plot, and essentially half of the school yelled D for 1-2 minutes. This was my sophomore year, however, not my senior year. Result, no more pep rallies for the year, and we almost cost the seniors their senior pep rally. We did this my senior year. Get a rock and a coconut and gather all the seniors in the busiest area of the school to circle around the rock and the coconut and chant fight. Wait until school administrator intervenes and looks stupid. If you set the school on fire and it burns down, the janitors won't have to clean up anything because the school will be gone. Please don't actually do this. Have every senior dress like a janitor and spend the afternoon cleaning the school. Find phone in an uncommon remote area and the kid who runs the morning announcements. Small speaker and CD player. Call into the PA system and play some tunes. Our principal admitted to hating jazz. There was a phone in a men's faculty room with a couch, a hidden old CD player with a data disc of 10 hours of jazz, a speaker and the phone under the couch. It played for about an hour before they shut off the PA system. Some rule must have forced them to turn it back on cause it came on and played another hour or two before they figured it out. Teachers loves it. Didn't damage any property and gave everyone some fun during the day. 5 rolls of scotch tape. 5 friends. 100 sheets of paper hung in every hallway as quickly as possible. Printed in very small type in the center it reads, "Don't forget 11:35 at 11:35 you get to decide what happens." Yeah no. If you're not in police questioning. My class changed the address numbers on the building to our class year. They stayed that way for over a year before it was changed. This will probably get buried, but in my year at an all-girls school we organized for some guys from our brother school to come in and they did a relatively PG, that is, just shirtless, strip show in front of the entire senior school and all the teachers in fireman costumes. No cleanup for janitors. Absolute hilarity for everyone watching and teachers scrambling to do something without causing a scene. My senior prank, we decided to let everyone know they were ducked. For about a month we'd loudly talk about plans and intention aim it at whoever was around. Eventually we had to let the principal know what was going on. We built so much suspense every single day, and when it finally came to the day of the prank we just left and all said enjoy your lockers. We laughed and the juniors were livid about what they thought we had done. But we pulled the biggest mind duck on everyone. People were checking their cars for marks. Lockers were being emptied, all in search of a prank that wasn't physical. Buy thousands of whistles and hide them all over the school. Students won't be able to resist themselves. Fill 6 dolls with helium and float to a high ceiling. Norwegian. Our senior prank is 17-30 days of straight partying. This includes being drunk at school sometimes. My routine was being asleep from 1500 to 100, waking up, getting wasted, partying all night, then going to school after the parties. Great times that didn't duck up for the janitors, except for an empty beer can here and there. Things got really funny when people were obviously drunk in class with their sunglasses on, lol. I remember one teacher telling a guy that he reeked booze and that he had to leave. This is how most seniors look from the middle of April 17th of May, which is our Constitution Day. The biggest party is the 16th of May, so on Constitution Day most 19-year-olds look more like this, while everyone else are prepped up in suits and women wear these. We had everyone set their phone alarms for 12 o'clock and put them in their lockers while they were in class. Harmless, annoying, and funny all at once. They had to open every locker to shut people's phones off. Get some kegs full of root beer disguised as kegs of beer and chug them in the parking lot after school in plain view of the administration. Some graduates at my high school did this and it was amazing.